Look for the
Bear necessities, the simple bare necessities. Forget about your worries and your strife. I mean the bare necessities,
old André Tourigny's recipes
that bring the bare necessities of life.
All right, I am here with Coyotes coach André Tourigny for edition number 1 of a new segment that we're calling, appropriately enough, Bear Necessities.
Here we go.
I hope you enjoyed the song, but I want to dive into a topic, André, that you and I have talked about a lot, just to maybe give our viewers, our readers, a better understanding of your philosophy on this. So I'll start with the basic question. Why haven't you named a captain?
Well, like I often say, captaincy for me has to be uncontested. Has to be, I hear someone else say that, but it's exactly what it is. I think captain, if you ask the fans, they will know who's the captain. As the owner, he will think he names the captain. The GM will think he picks the captain. The coach will think he picks the captain. The player will think they pick the captain. And if all of those people pick the same person, you have a captain. If not, that's mean you need to have a strong leadership group, which we have. I think we have guys who could be captain, but we have different options. So in that situation, I'd rather to have a strong leadership group, a bunch of guys who take ownership of the culture, of the way we want to do things. We call that our standard, and I think we do have that. And we have a strong leadership group in our room, and we have our leadership group feel concerned about the standard in our team, the performance of our team, the behavior of our team, the culture, all of it. So I think we're not in need in that category in leadership. We have a lot of leadership.
Have you taken this approach at other levels? Did you do this in juniors?
Yep, I did that in junior. I had both. I had my last captain in junior is Travis Barron, who played in Tucson. So Bear was our captain in junior. My last year junior, which was the COVID year, we will have had a co-captain because we had two guys who were really strong leader, and but I had other years in junior where we won championship and we didn't have captain. We had a strong leadership group, and I had one leadership with captain as well. So it depends about what your group is. It's same thing than thinking you can play whatever the system you like to play with whatever the group, the player you have. It's not the way it works. In life you need to adapt. It's the same thing. You want to build a house. It depends about what's the hardware you have will dictate what kind of house you can have. It's same thing in life. I think you cannot try to put something that doesn't fit. I think you need to do the best with what you have, and I think I'm really pleased about our leadership.
What are some of the benefits maybe of group leadership versus a single leader?
Well, when things not going the way you want, there's nobody who sit on the back seat and say, okay, let's go, captain, make something happen. I think guys are feeling involved. There's more guys who are hands-on, more guys who know that's on us. That's our job. That's our responsibility. And they don't dish to one guy. That is A. B. I think it's easy to point finger at one guy. It's easy for the fans, for the media, for coaches, management. I think I think when you have a leadership group, I think it take the responsibility on everybody, and everybody has bad day at the office or good week, bad week, and I think it's important inside that leadership group, and the same thing with the coach, to help the guys who's in need.
I don't mean to ask you for insight on every one of these guys that's a part of your leadership group, but what do some of them maybe bring to the table that might give you sort of a diversity of viewpoints?
Oh, it's a good question. I'll take just the guy who have A's. If you look at Schmaltzy is the brain of the operation. You want to know what's going on in the team? Ask Schmaltzy. He knows. He knows exactly who's happy, who's not happy, who has friends, who has no friends, who's working inside the structure, who's not, who's happy in life, who's not. Does he talk? No, he doesn't. But he knows. He knows what's going on. Kels is the competitiveness. Kels he has that killer instinct. He wants to perform. He wants to win at any cost. He has that drive, that passion. Crosser is the guy who cares a ton about his teammate. If example last year when Gunther was sent down in junior, Crosser was calling him. Hey, how are you? He's the caring guy. He's the guy he's the big brother. He's the guy you can always rely on if there's something. And I'm not saying any of those guys don't have other quality, but I'm just talking about their primary quality. I think Crosser is the guy who cares so much for his teammate, cares so much for the team. He's the guy who was he's a kind of the superhero. He wants justice for everybody. He wants everybody to be in a good mood, in a good spot.
How do you think the team has responded to this style of leadership, a group instead of the traditional scene?
Never heard about anything other than from Craig Morgan, so I guess that the player are pretty good.
You need to talk to my readers. Last question for you then, and you alluded to this earlier. If it's unanimous throughout the organization, maybe that's the time when a C rises to the top. But could you foresee that happening at some point in the future with the Coyotes?
I will go back to my first answer. When that will happen, the fans will know, the media will know, the owner will know, the GM will know, the coach will know, and the player will know, and there will be nowhere to hide. That will be so clear, crystal clear. It's the guy. You know what I mean? If you have Mark Messier, you can say, won't put a captain. Everybody will look at you. Well, what's going on? Why? Everybody knows he was one of the great. Jonathan Toews was that kind of a guy. If you have Sidney Crosby, you know there's no question there. But if you don't have that kind, it doesn't mean it's not negative.
Mm-hmm.
It's not. It's just a different style of leadership. It's not because Pittsburgh or Chicago in their heyday or other team have more leadership than us. It's not that at all. Leadership is not. When you have a CEO in your company, okay, that's good. But if the CEO doesn't have a good leader with him, do you think the company will run well?
Yeah.
No, the company will not run well. How good is the captain or the CEO of the company? You need leadership in every department. Why? Just have a question in the scrum. Why are our PKs so good? Because Kerfoot, Crosser, Bukestad, they say, hey, okay, enough here. That's leadership, and they took charge of it. And with other guys, with Dumby is one of those, and they took ownership of it. And they I don't want to say decide, but they really took ownership of it and take a lot of pride and put urgency in it. That's the leadership of those guys made our PK really turn the corner and be much better. I will say that I couldn't say the same about the power play early in the season with Kels and Schmaltzy and those guys who really took ownership of it. I think you need to have leadership everywhere in your enterprise in order to be successful. The same thing in a hockey team.
Andre, thank you very much for some great insights on your philosophy on the captaincy, and we will obviously do this again soon. Thanks for joining us on Bear Necessities.